I have the pleasure right now of being joined by Dr. William Young of the Mayo Clinic and the past president of the Endocrine Society. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So this year, for the first time in nearly 20 years, ICE and Endo teaming up together. What kind of a unique opportunity does that provide for people who are attending here today?
This is going to be really exciting. So this will be our largest meeting ever. There's going to be more diversity in speakers, more diversity in topics. The planning committee was the largest planning committee we've had. So as you look at the program, there's so much for people to go to. And you know, there's this app that we have, and you can go to that app and figure out what sessions you want to go to. It's going to be great.
You talk about the diversity of sessions and speakers. Is there anything that you are most looking forward to?
Well, my area of focus in endocrinology is the adrenal gland. And you know, as I went through the program and put things on my app, I can go to something on the adrenal gland almost throughout the day. So yeah, it's great.
It's an easy way for people to navigate through.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a wonderful, convenient thing that they have this year. You served as president from 2012 to 2013. Any advice for people who might be considering that post as well?
Volunteering for the Endocrine Society is just a very rewarding opportunity for all members of the Endocrine Society. We have 21 standing committees, 300 member volunteers, the committee appointments for 3 years. So after 3 years, we like to turn over those appointments. So I would encourage anyone that's interested in volunteering for a committee, you know, to go to the website, you put in some information about yourself, what committees you'd be interested in. You look at the charges of the different committees. It's just a wonderful opportunity. I mean, this is my academic home. This is where I come to learn. This is where I come to teach. This is where I network with colleagues across the world. And to participate in a volunteer way on the committees it's just a wonderful opportunity. So you get to know people you otherwise would not have met.
I want to give you an opportunity to talk about the Mayo Clinic as well. Such an amazing place that gives a really great standard of care for patients. You talked about it in the film. Can you just discuss maybe the things that you are most passionate about in terms of the work there?
Well, for me, it's a real privilege to work at Mayo Clinic. I trained at Mayo Clinic and I was invited to join the staff. I'm currently chair of our endocrinology division. We have 44 clinician members in our division. We all work side by side on the same floor of the Mayo building. And it's really an integrated care experience for patients. None of our patients live in our small town of Rochester, Minnesota. They all fly in and they stay in the hotels that circle the clinic. But we can do things so quickly. You know, so a patient with a suspected pituitary tumor, if I see him at 8 a.m., I'll get my lab test, I'll order the MRI, it'll be done the same day. I'll see him in the afternoon. All the pituitary-dependent hormones are back, the MRI is back. Things are done very efficiently. And it's an integrated practice so that if that patient needs to see a neurosurgeon, they can see that neurosurgeon that very first afternoon. They even have surgery the next day. So things are really built for speed.
Not only speed, but that communication, I think, between different doctors that really helps the patients understand what they're going through and maybe get the best care.
Precisely. So the way it works, for example, for that pituitary tumor patient, the neurosurgeon would come to the endocrine floor. I would discuss the patient's case with the neurosurgeon in the hall. I'd take him in, introduce him to the patient. And when he was done with his consult, I would be called back to the hall and he and I would discuss the case, and then I'd go back in and talk with the patient. So the patient really gets a sense that we're all on the same page and they really do have integrated care, which they do.
After this great undertaking for the ICE Endo conference, anything you want to say about your hopes?
Well, I'm really excited for this meeting. Unlike last year, when you're president, you don't get to really go to the meeting. You go to the plenary session in the morning, the plenary session end of the day, and then in between you have committee meetings all day, meeting with other society leaders. So this year I actually get to go to the meeting. Teresa Woodruff, the president, she won't get to go to the meeting much, but I will. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you enjoy it. Thank you very much, Dr. Young, for being with us.